Hello, Grace Baptist Church. I trust that you are doing well. I want to share another devotion with you from the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 23. Now, I have to say, these verses I find so interesting, and they're serious, but to me, there's a little bit of humor in them as well. Proverbs chapter 23, verses 1, 2, and 3. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee. And I'll just stop there for now, because what the wise man is saying here, here's his advice. If you get in a position where there's a man or a woman of authority, they have power, they have privilege, and they're offering you something, it's free, you know. Here, you can have this wonderful meal with me. He said, step back and consider what really is before you. Is the only thing on the menu food? Is there something they want? What's going on here? In fact, he goes on to say this, verse 2, and put a knife to thy throat if thou be a man given appetite. Well, that's quite a contrast, right? You're invited to this meal by someone who's powerful, someone who's a ruler. It's going to be a beautiful meal. It's going to be a grand thing. But put a knife to your throat if you're given to appetite. Why? He says in verse 3, be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. Now, these proverbs are not telling us that every time we get an invitation from someone who can help us in life, right, or provide us with opportunities, it doesn't mean that it's a bad or sinister situation. But what he is saying is this: beware. Beware. What is really before you? Now, a fool would say, it's food. It's simply food that's before me. Well, no, there might be more to it than that. There might be more to it than that. In fact, when you consider opportunities in life, we all want good opportunities. We want these things, but we need to be careful that, this might not be old-fashioned hospitality. If we're being asked to sell our integrity for a better job, a better position, or better pay, we can't make that trade as believers. As a Christian, you can't seek to hurt the reputation of another man or woman at work simply so you could get ahead. You can't do that. He says here, be careful. Don't sell your integrity for favor. Don't sell your integrity for influence. Be godly. Be loyal to principle, to biblical principle. In fact, have courage for your convictions. If you were to ask the average American on the street if people should be honest, and they should be fair, and they should have integrity, overwhelmingly they're going to say yes, yes, yes. But sometimes, in fact, too often, people do not have courage for their own convictions that they claim to have. Folks, life is full of opportunities. It's, of course, full of challenges, but don't pay too much. Years ago, I read a story of a little boy. It's a boy that we all would be familiar with his name. Benjamin Franklin was said to be the boy who, as a fair had come to town. His father gave him a little bit of money, and he went off for the day to celebrate and came across a boy blowing a whistle. And he sees this, and he's so excited, he's got to have one of these whistles. He asks the boy where he gets it. He points him in the direction, and off that little boy goes. And it's said that in the story that it was Ben Franklin, that this was about him, a true story from his life. He finds the vendor, and he says to him, how much is a whistle? And he said, young man, how much money do you have? The little boy opens his hand and reveals the money, and the man says, that's exactly how much a whistle cost. Well, he was ripping the boy off. He took the money, he gave him the whistle. And that little boy went running around blowing that whistle, happy as could be, completely happy with his trade because he didn't really understand money. Later in the day, when his family found out what he paid for the whistle, they told him that he had given that man far more money than necessary. He could have bought that whistle and all the candy he could have eaten all day long if he had not made, here's the point, if he didn't make that bad trade, if he didn't pay too much. Folks, anything we get in life that we trade our integrity for, we trade our testimony for, it's a price too high. So just like that boy, he paid too much. Let us be careful not to pay too much. because it's simply not worth it. Thank you. God bless you.